Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining today. You probably already know what's coming. I'm doing another artist course review. You loved the first one, even though I feel like I could have gone into more detail. So if you want a more detailed review of Charlotte, where I break down the good and the bad and just kind of like give you even more scoop, let me know in the comments below. I will make that if you're interested in it. But today we are going to be working with Sadie Valeri Atelier. I would almost bet that you have not heard of her. Doesn't surprise me in the least. I did a lot of research to find her. So let's talk quickly about how and why I've picked her. I myself am a realist painter, and I admire a lot of the techniques and the skills found in classical realism. I love Impressionism as well, but I like to have the classic realism skills to fall back on. With that, I think it kind of goes without saying, ateliers are the best way to go in regards to that. Those are kind of where you want to be looking to gain those classical realism skills. When you type it in, ateliers, there's so many that come up. Let's talk about a few of them. Florence Academy, you have to be there to take their courses. So that doesn't work for me. I live in the States. Maybe one day, but not right now. Another one I looked at was the Realist Academy of Boston. Phenomenal. However, you either had to pay for a semester and basically do like a school term with them, but they also have online courses. The semester doesn't work for me right now. My schedule's too busy and unpredictable, so I can't commit to that, let alone it's very expensive. So other options. They do have online courses. However, to me, the more research I did, which was extensive of looking up YouTube videos, seeing how everyone's teaching style was, and just all of the things, I came to the conclusion that I felt like maybe their courses were just a little bit too specific and narrow topic and maybe a little repetitive. I think there's a lot of really good content out there, and I think to some extent I maybe didn't feel like it was much different from other courses that I have done. That's the best way to put that. I just don't think it was different enough from what I've already learned. They were just maybe a little bit more generic. Don't blame them for it. You know, generic reaches more people, but I was kind of looking for specific things. So another one that came up obviously is Watts Atelier. Phenomenal. Jeffrey Watts is undeniably probably one of the greatest artists living right now. He is so unbelievably incredible. However, again, after a lot of research, one, the time invested did seem a bit high. That's great if you're like looking for a school to go be a part of to gain that and just become an absolute master, and you're willing to invest that time and money, by all means, he's probably a phenomenal option. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for single or a few courses offered that can just answer specific questions and give me other insights that I can just kind of mix in with what I'm already learning, what I've already learned. On top of the fact that I don't know that I like all of the instructors that are at Watts. If all of them were Jeffrey, I could maybe be convinced, but it's academic. So if you're not in like, and I mean that in the sense where even how it's kind of relayed to you and taught to you, I think it feels a little bit academic. There's 100%, 200% a place for that and the right time for that. Again, not what I'm going for in this. I'm going for like few classes to answer specific questions. So I'm sorry, this is so long-winded. That's how I came across Sadie Valeri Atelier. One, she's an artist that is incredibly capable. She has great style and technique. Her edge control is phenomenal, which is something that I am working on and really, really wanting to focus on is edge control. So I like that about her style alone. The way that she was able to create certain paintings, I was like, yes, I like that technique. I like certain things that she's doing. So already that's someone that, yes, I'm interested in taking her course. I look at her courses, she not only has a bunch of things, a bunch of different options to pick from, she has drawing and painting. I think they're very fairly priced. You can bundle them. The other thing that I liked is that I do feel like she kind of offered unique courses. She definitely can, you know, there were some options to hit on the basics, so everything's covered, but she also offered some very specific ones that I have not seen people focus on yet. For example, her glazing and scumbling video. Like that's its own video, and I was like, interesting. Not many people talk about that on its own, and on top of the fact that I don't feel like it's really talked about or explained that thoroughly across YouTube. So already the fact that there were specific options, things that I haven't really seen elsewhere, really cool. I really like that about her. I did buy one of her drawing ones, and I bought 2 of her painting videos. They're specific to me. I haven't gone through all of them, so, you know, take my advice with a grain of salt. I have not gone through everything. I don't have that kind of money for you guys, sorry. But what I did buy, I can say I've worked through some of it already to make sure. Of course, going into this video, I knew what to talk about and my initial thoughts. We are gonna go through one. I'm not gonna show you any of our footage. I'm not gonna let you listen to any of our things. This is just gonna be my opinion of how everything goes, what I think about it, all of that. I just don't wanna take anything away from them, and that's their property. I don't wanna bridge that gap. This is solely just gonna be from my perspective. You're gonna see me work through it as I have her course going alongside me. So what are my initial thoughts? Because I have looked at some of these. Let me start with maybe some of the negatives, because there's so many good things about it that there's only a few negatives, and I might as well just get those out of the way. One of the negatives for me is the interface that it's on. It kind of feels a little textbooky. It's a little bit of a turn off for me, because you read a section, there's like a photo, you scroll down, there's a video, then you scroll down, there's like another reference image and some more reading. So you're just like scrolling through, and it's like writing, video, writing, click next lesson, writing, video, writing, click next lesson. Is that terrible? No, it's me just being picky. I would almost rather all of it just be in one video that I can click on and have all that reading material just kind of like there with her explaining it. So that's one. The other thing that I came across is that she has such a sweet and calming voice that when I wasn't following along with her, I was just watching the content, I definitely fell asleep twice. It's not because it's boring. It's not because it's not important stuff to listen to. It was solely just because it was like so soothing to hear her talk, and it was maybe a little bit monotonous that I fell asleep. So, whoops. Okay, those are the negatives. Now, the positives. I've kind of already talked about the fact that she offers a whole bunch of different things. You can build upon itself. It starts from easiest and then goes to hardest. Everything is individual, so you can bundle, you can just buy certain things. Her pricing is very fair, I think. And on top of that, when you get into these videos, I think she does a really good job of explaining. I think when you are in the beginner, like more basic courses, she explains things to a beginner. She really breaks things down into a very digestible and easy to understand way. It doesn't feel overwhelmingly academic. It feels personable and therefore just kind of easier to go through. Very low key, very no pressure, and I really respect her for that. So I think that's great. And then on top of the fact that she's also classically trained, and so she's just able to offer these little nuggets of classical realism knowledge in there that is great. So not only is it easy to understand and digest, but it is also very good information. So I don't think you can go wrong with her courses already. her drawing ones, which I bought a drawing one, was great. I bought her sketchbook one just because I was curious on improving my sketchbook. And there was a certain look in like classical realism drawing that I was looking to learn. Did it really talk about it? I don't think so. I think if I was to guess, it was probably in her next course, but I did learn some things and it was great. And again, just like based off of her teaching style and doing the research on the videos to come, I know that like it gets more advanced and all of that. So room to grow, love it. And a lot of good nuggets of information and unique information. So it doesn't feel like it's just entirely repetitive things that you can find on YouTube for free. You can probably, but it's from a trusted source. There's other information that I haven't always been able to find across the internet, and that's great. That's what we want. So far, super impressed. Definitely give it a thumbs up. We'll have another chat at the end. So we see how this goes, and I'll tell you kind of what I think afterwards, but let's hop in. I will see you on the back side of this, and we'll talk about my thoughts on everything.
Woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes, just like a new day, a breath of fresh air in my life. I don't know how, don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life. My boots and briefcase are waiting at the door. My ride sweeter to meet the one I love. I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life. Oh, it's sweeter the first time around. I'm here and now. I played the dice right and let the good times roll. One knee and one ring, forever it's our show. I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
Okay, so that's it for this course. I will show you the final result. Don't fret. So overall score, I'm gonna give her, oh, I'm so afraid to go too high, but I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10, I think, because she's honestly great. 1, it's affordable. 2, it's comprehensive. And there are things that are, she offers up something different than what I've seen in other courses. The same and different. She covers the basics and the bases of course, but there's also things that I feel like she talks about that you don't really get in other courses. And for that alone, I think it's so cool because I've spent so much money on different courses. And so to come across one that feels unique and has new information is really, really cool. There's also a wide variety of options between things for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Maybe less so advanced. I kind of assume that by the time you're advanced, you're probably not really looking for courses as much unless, I don't know, maybe some of you consider me advanced, but I just love learning. So I'm always going to keep buying courses to see what else I can learn. But beginner and intermediate, for sure. You are 100% going to get something out of this. You have the drawing course and you have the painting course. So depending on where you're at in your journey or what you're looking to improve on, both are there. It's filmed well, you get the reference images. She's great about showing you the whole step. She shows you her color palette. Anyways, it's just all there and it's great. She's incredibly knowledgeable. I've definitely gotten a lot out of these courses. Actually, I got an enormous thing out of these courses. I think with edge control being one of my main goals to work on in these next 50 paintings, this is exactly what I needed and what I thought I kind of needed to do. And she just reiterated it and I don't know, something about it just set it up in a way that was very easy for me to feel brave and unafraid to try and just listen and try and do, and it freaking worked. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. If you're looking for a course and you're interested in classical realism, if you're not, I could see this not benefiting you. But for my classic realism painters out there, it gets my stamp of approval 100%. I hope you found this helpful. Again, this is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing where any courses that I buy, I'm going to review and let you know what I think. And if there are any courses that you're specifically interested in, maybe I've taken them or bought them before, or will look into buying them in the future. So drop those in the comments too, and I will look into adding that onto the list for ones to review. And as always, thank you so much for joining, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.